All right. Hi, everyone. Awesome. Really excited to be here. And we are going to be doing a continuation of our shop audits. So, last night we had an awesome webinar, and we couldn't even fit enough in. So, we are going to be doing a continuation of that. And that was really all about you guys submitting your shops. A lot of you have had calls with us in the past, and you're still really struggling with Etsy. Maybe you've been going at it on your own, haven't gotten guidance yet. So today we are going to be doing rapid fire shop audits and really calling out the biggest reason that you are not seeing success in your shop, so you know exactly what to do next, and really what area I would say to focus on the most. So I'm going to share my screen. You can submit your shop, but we are also going to prioritize all the shops that have been submitted, and we will be extending the bonuses for people if you did sign up last night and you did not have your shop reviewed. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll start going through some of these shops. Now, if you were on the call last night and you didn't get the link, I'm going to put it here in the chat. And this opportunity was for up to 12 free months of one-on-one coaching when you become part of our program. So you would get 12 free months of one-on-one calls. Now, these are private calls outside of our 5 group calls per week, and also outside of the one-on-one daily message coaching. Okay, let's start going through the shops. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, let's go through this. Okay, can you see this? Yeah, a little bit? Okay, and if you had messaged on Instagram, we have a new team in Instagram where we are just getting them ramped up this week. So a brand new team in Instagram. And yeah, if you haven't been hearing back, we have just hundreds, maybe even thousands of messages a day. And we haven't been able to keep up, but disclaimer, we do have a new team helping with Instagram now. So it's going to be probably potentially like 4 full-time people who are just responding to Instagram messages. But yeah, if you didn't get your message answered, send a new message today, and you'll see them in there. Okay, so we're going to jump in, go one by one. We have quite a few tabs at the top here to get through. Okay, and then if you did not see last night's review, that replay will be sent out. It was recorded, and the replay will be sent out today. But let's jump in here. I'm going to make my screen a little smaller so you can really see these shops. Now, disclaimer, I always have to say this, please do not be offended by any advice. My only intention here is to help you make money. So that's my only intention. And sometimes, what do they say? The truth hurts. No, I'm just kidding. But sometimes it's hard because you've put a lot of time and energy and really effort into your shops. So I understand that, and my only goal here is to help you be successful. So I would say the biggest issue with this shop is actually design and value proposition. So a couple things as far as design, it includes things like spacing, font choices, mock-up styles, fit of your mock-ups. These are all things that I would recommend making adjustments to. Backgrounds, props. And what happens is you could take a design that, like here, could be trendy if it's positioned in the right way, in the right context. So on the right mock-up with the right background. It could be more trendy if we positioned it differently. Okay. And in terms of, maybe some of these are some of your older listings, we definitely need to change how you are doing your text overlays. Let's look at some of your other listings here. Actually, we might have gone through this last night. Yeah, I think we might have gone through some of this last night. But design, mockups, context, value proposition, those are all the biggest areas to focus on. And of course, SEO. SEO is missing here, and it's very product focused instead of customer focused. You will see better results, better conversion rate, and a better click through rate if you make these updates. All right, here's a shop. My goodness, what cleanser do you use for your face? Yes. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So here is a shop, stationery, printables. Now, I did review a shop last night that had about 27,000 orders. And there's a couple of recommendations for you that are going to be similar to that, but also for you, you need some extra strategy that the other shop did execute on better. So for you, same recommendation of really focusing on lifetime value of the customer. Now, I do see you have baby, and I do see you have, wedding. However, I think there's not enough differentiation in your designs. And I think we need to do more to have more trendy designs that are not so similar to every other one on Etsy that you're competing against. So, competing with your designs, you could be more competitive with your designs. You could be more innovative with designs and mockups. And I think the focus is more on the mockup itself than the product itself. So I think we are losing the product. Hopefully you can see my mouse here. You're losing the product here and there's a lot of distractions happening with the mockups. So and honestly, I would say how elevated it looks in the mock-up, right? This looks very fancy, beautiful, like highly stylized. We don't have the same level of design in some of the designs themselves. So for example, like this is very difficult to read this text. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very difficult to read this script. It's closer to the top than it is to the bottom, right? So we're not quite evenly spaced. And just things like that are much more noticeable when you have a great mock-up and a design that is not at the same level that the background is. Okay, so it just makes it more obvious when the design isn't as strong. We also, I would say, if people don't know your brand, if this is not something that people are really searching for, I would not be doing your watermark, your brand logo on every photo here. Okay. Um, okay, let's keep it moving so we get to as many as possible. All right, this one, you are flat out competing with yourself, just completely competing with yourself. You might as well have 3 listings in here. You have 22, but honestly, you would have the same results if you had like 3. So that is a major issue. You're competing with yourself in search results and within the shop itself. How many of these would they buy for their home, for example? Your SEO is also very, very, very product focused and not customer focused. So, for example, if someone is searching for this, they are not going to be typing in dreamscape melting Icelandic landscape. There's no way, right? There's nothing in your SEO that's about the color, right? It's almost like the name of a painting. So, which no one would know to even search if they were looking for this. So a lot of updates need to be made. This just tells me you're not getting in front of your target audience, your target customer, um, and you're competing with yourself. And then I'd also recommend a very different pricing strategy because you only have 31 sales. Okay. Also curious, you have beautiful designs, but are you only wanting to do digital? Because there's an opportunity to make a lot more money if you were open-minded to things outside of digital with your designs. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, Enza, Okay, the low, I would say this type of branding is going to diminish any brand equity you have, and it sets a I would say, a poor first impression, bright red 40% off, special offer with a zigzag outline, this type of, kind of, very baby-like font and kind of drawing here. I would say we don't know what you want to be known for. We can't see your best products. This is your most valuable visual real estate, and it looks like these are your products. Okay. So you are doing, like, birthday invites and books. Okay. Okay, Lulu would be great for you, um, but we will not be getting sales if we are writing full sentences in our text overlays, and I think overall value proposition is something we really need to focus on. So that combination of your listing photo and your price point, how do we be competitive with this in search results? 7 types of products framework would also be really helpful for you to increase your average order value and the lifetime value of your customer. So right now you were serving them in such a limited way. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. Next one, eclectic boho home decor. Okay. So I think one of the biggest areas for improvement is design. And I think, yeah. So I'd avoid taking graphics or images that look like real photos and putting them on print on demand products like we're doing here. I would avoid that at all costs. Also curious what we are doing with all the different animal prints. I would say there is actually a trend in the cow print right now, but the others I would stay away from at this time. For example, like here we go. We have personalization going. We want to make sure that we are doing it in a trendy font. So I think font improvements would a, make a big difference for your shop. So mock-up improvements as well. We have so many things going on with your mock-ups that it can be pretty distracting. Okay, let's take a look at some other products. We would make some big recommendations on changes to your text overlays as well. And then it looks like we have a lot of seasonal in here, which is hurting your conversion rate quite a bit. If, let's say, half of your product mix is seasonal, which it looks like I'm seeing potentially around 100 listings could be seasonal. So it looks like potentially up to a third of your product mix is out of season, which is just tanking your conversion rate, which then gives you a negative shop quality score. Okay. Okay, what's this one? Did we do this one last night? No, maybe not. This one looks like it might be your same shop. Okay, I would say for your shop here, we need to make sure we're targeting a profitable customer, right? Just things with like a heart on it, mom life. I think we need to be a little bit more specific. And then in terms of design improvements, right? Sometimes, if you have like mom life right up here by the neckline, it looks a little bit more like an afterthought. Your logo is also bigger than mom life. So the text of your logo is bigger and bolder and more easy to read than your text on your examples. So I do think you are hurting yourself a bit with your mock-ups and some of the design. So for example, if you really wanted mom life on there, right? In order to make this really stand out from what we have going here and be the focus, I would probably put it right in the middle and make it maybe 3 times the size, right? And have these different line art drawings around them. Okay. And just things like font updates, right? Font updates can really help. Also, just make sure your spelling is right. Looks like we have theme bride instead of team bride. Okay. Yeah, and I think a lot of your mockups have some distracting backgrounds, that are really taking away from the image itself or the design on the apparel. Even something like this, right? Where we have a purse that is a little, I would say, a little more outdated, with the pastels of this. I think this type of a design would look maybe more appropriate on a different mock-up that doesn't have such a high contrast black purse against the white. So it's super high contrast and then kind of like pastels, very much nature type of products. And this is very industrial, commercial. You're in a parking garage. It just feels a little out of place. Okay. Yeah. So design updates would be helpful as well. We got to make sure we're very careful with any IP infringements as well. Make sure you're looking everything up before you use characters. Okay. So I think a theme is, we're doing a lot of like designs. Okay. We have one of those little Swedish horses, seahorse and seashells, a dog, a shamrock. But what is the value proposition? What are you offering? And I think with the combination of the photo and the design and the price point, I just don't think we're quite strong enough. And we also would recommend some different SEO. We are very, very product specific. And I think if we got a little more customer specific, that could help you. Okay. There's some words that I see in your SEO that people probably don't know how to spell or they wouldn't think to type because it's not an easy word to think about spelling. Uh, so I just have some concerns around those. Okay, let's keep it moving. Trying to get through as many as possible and give you really the key points. Now, if you are just joining us, it looks like we have a lot of people who just joined. We had a presentation last night where we did shop reviews. If you have been in our ecosystem for a while, we invited you to submit your shops if you're not currently part of our program. And then we had an opportunity for you to get one of 12 spots that would get up to 12 months of one on one coaching calls added on for you. So I'll put the link here in the chat. If you're just joining us and you're like, yes, you've reviewed my shop just now, and I know I need extra guidance. We can take you through what our new options and customizations look like in the program, and you would get the free up to 12 months of these calls. All right, I think we did this one last night. This one we did not do yet. Okay. Very interesting. So you are in Germany. Very specific. This is so niche, so incredibly niche. And yeah, very, very, very niche. So these are custom family drawings, and it looks like it's only posters. Yeah. So 7 types of products framework. You can still stay within this style. What if you had this style, but it was text? It was like graphic text, right? What if you had this style and it wasn't the actual portraits, but it was maybe a home or a wedding venue or something related to a sports team that someone's a fan of. So it wasn't only people, right? Or what if it was only pets? There's so many other ways you could serve the customer who appreciates this aesthetic. So, yeah, I think we're really limiting ourselves currently. And honestly, this looks like it takes a lot of time. So, you could end up charging more if you had the right product mix. Okay. I'm seeing some questions here. How do we submit your shop? You had 33,000 sales, but views and visits plummeted since February. How do you submit your shop? Just go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, let's keep going. Kristen. Okay, we are fully competing with ourselves and having such product-focused SEO that there's really no chance of you showing up under who you'd wanna get in front of. So, for example, um, leading with this is very, very specific to the product. For example, where would someone wanna put this? Where would it belong? What color scheme is it? You are right now with your SEO, you are describing the product and not the purpose, the utility behind it, the variety of customers it could be positioned for. So really, you're competing with yourself, and we need to help you with how to position this for the right people and different ways to position it. So you're A/B testing throughout. It also looks like you are shipping all of this yourself, but what is your skill set? Fine art prints. How scalable do you want to make this? Would you be open to print on demand or digital in addition to your fine art prints? There's a lot of opportunity. Okay. Tracy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tracy actually, her call disconnected from us this morning. Like, I think she was out in the wind or something, and her call dropped. But, yes, Tracy, I did go over your shop this morning actually with Nor, and I think actually I left you a voicemail about it, but ton of opportunity. We actually had someone join our program last night who's from Iowa and very, I'd say some similar vibes to it. So with your shop right now, what you're doing in your shop? It did well in like 2018, 2019. But some of these designs are starting to look a little bit dated, even down to font choice and shape of the sign. So the circular signs, right? Um, you know, those are very like 2015 to 2020. 2020 might even be a little on the tail end. So there's some different shapes, different fonts, different embellishments that you could do now with this that would really, really, really help. Looks like you have a laser, which is great. Lasers are the most profitable tool for an Etsy shop, followed by embroidery, followed by 3D printing. So, yeah, we just need to bring this into 2025. And it looks like you're very creative, but I think we're just kind of sitting back in the maybe let's say 2016 era. Okay. All right, this one, Quiet Luxury Originals. All right. Okay, so font choice, yeah, we need to help you with font choice. I would say we have a lot of Amazon style photography happening here with the white backgrounds, which is not really the aesthetic that Etsy customers uh, will appreciate and give you a strong click-through rate for. Um, let's see here. Let me see here. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. I pinned a comment and l I lost myself there. Okay. So not really working as far as your mockups. I am a little concerned about some of the designs. Okay. I am curious where you are validating the designs and validating product market fit before creating them. Um, I'm also curious where you are creating color schemes and where the inspiration is coming from. I think focusing a bit more on design with you would be really helpful, also with mockups. And then I would not be doing the makeup bags. There's some print on demand products that don't even look like print on demand, and maybe you would be interested in expanding in that way because I do see you trying to go after some more unique product types. Okay. Okay. We would also be recommending a different pricing strategy since you are still just at 102 sales. So in your shop in total, you have 80 listings. I might actually remove about 20 of these that I think will be giving you a low conversion rate and low click through rate, kind of like dead weight listings. I might remove about 20 and then really hone in on who do we want to target? How do we build a product mix around them? Because I think what's happening here is maybe you're seeing some trends like this one, right? For example, the kind of fisherman's sardine um, there's like a sardine can trend, but what's the execution with these color scheme, with the color scheme, it's kind of almost giving like a 1970s like cabin type of vibe versus playing into the trend that is the, fish wildlife trend. So, um, I see the trend, it's almost like it's halfway there, and then we just have to close the loop in a trendy way with color scheme, and I would also be removing these, like, swirly designs. Okay, cool. Alright, let's keep it moving. Alright, this one, oh, I think this one didn't want a public, yeah, this one did not want a public review. Okay, okay. So happy ring keeper jewelry. Oh, yes. Okay. So you have 4, literally 4 listings here, and it looks like the majority of your sales are on the leather style, maybe the style and not the earrings or those earrings. So I would say for this, I would not take the ring keeper customer and start trying to sell them jewelry. I really wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I would be focusing on serving them in other areas of their life with other functional, organizational type of products. I do not think jewelry is the direction to go with the shop. Um, yes. So for you, even getting into something like a laser could be good, but even like a 3D printer, there's so many other types of products that provide unique storage solutions or accessories for, holding your chapstick or your keys or whatever it is, um, for customers. And I think you would see much more success not going the jewelry route. Okay. Let's see this one. Hang on, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to get through all of these shops were submitted, so I wanna make sure to get to them since, last night we weren't able to get through all of them. So I'm gonna go through these shops since these Etsy sellers are waiting for their shop reviews, and I'm hoping that you can take the feedback I'm giving them and really translate that into your own shop. So for this shop, 9 sales. I do not think these are your strongest designs in your banner, so we don't want to lead with that. Your mock-ups and really the space that these are being pictured in are completely overtaking the design themselves. So we're getting very distracted by the room and the other furniture and things happening here. Also, a little concerned about some of the design elements like font and spacing and color combinations. I would look at possibly getting into something like Kittle to help with some kind of the core design, and then you can build around it. Uh, I think that would be really helpful. It will also give you ideas for font combinations and font sizing. Yeah. So design is really important. We also never want to do overlays like this. Decorate your walls with encouraging and uplifting art with your logo. We don't want to ever do anything like that. It's because it's really distracting from the product itself. So right now it's like we have the product and then we have all these distractions around it that are pulling the focus off the product. And it makes it a little confusing as far as what you're selling. And then also I think just design, we need to help you with design. We do have design workshops as well uh, that we host once a month. Okay. I think you would also fare better not just going with digital and expanding beyond only digital. Okay. All right. This one looks like, okay, we really need to work on your branding and your photography, which really go hand in hand. So I would say that those are some of your weakest points right now is branding, photography. You are selling a lot of blanks, it looks like. So, yeah, a lot in the blanks category, but you could be picturing these just in a much more elevated way. Okay. I also think you need help with fonts because we are doing some very like 2017 fonts here that are not helping the shop's case. So with a laser, right? My business, right, laser-based business, uh, with a laser, you wanna make sure to keep evolving your customizations in trendy ways, and I don't necessarily mean that you have to put bows all over something, but, these type of font choices, this is very overdone, and I think it's too expected. This is something, you look for at Home Goods or something or Hobby Lobby, and it's not where things are going. So it's where things were, but it's not where things are going. So with your shop, I mean, right now, I don't see the potential for these listings to become bestsellers, ranking at the top of search results because they are not forward leaning enough. You have the tools to be forward leaning in your shop. Um, but these, even the saying, she leaves a little confetti everywhere she goes, I don't think that that is something that would resonate now. Even like the font here, small business babe, right? Even on the black, right? Even the choice of the kind of iridescent with the black. If you'd be open to recommendations on products to be engraving, new fonts, new customers to be targeting, and how to really execute a bestseller potential listing. Yeah. So a lot to be done here. These also aren't optimized for mobile or Pinterest, and Pinterest would be great for you. Uh, once your photography and your font choices get updated. Okay. All right, let's keep going. A few more. Show it website templates. Okay, amazing. You are competing with yourself big time here. Now, I see you have coach and wedding and photographer. So I see you're trying to target different customers, but we're doing it in the same aesthetic, right? So the same look and feel. And even, yeah, I think we're just competing with ourselves way too much. Okay. We would also be making recommendations on SEO updates. So, for example, here, 16 Canva templates plus a website planner. But you have things in here like photography planner, wedding planner, right? It's coaches spelled incorrectly, just coach by itself. I do not think your current SEO strategy is going to get you in front of the customers that you want to sell to. Okay, so I think we're competing with ourselves. There's some trends in Show It that I think we're missing, and there are some influencers and thought leaders who are using Show It that a lot of new creators or entrepreneurs admire. Their websites that you could be implementing some of those elements of their sites into your templates because that's really what people are looking for now. And if you're missing some of those key elements that people love from thought leaders and certain influencers' sites, um, I just think you're missing an opportunity to compete in a way that your competition is probably not competing. Okay, let's keep it moving. Brain dump journal. All right. Okay. We really need to improve your thumbnails, your mockups, it's not in terms of the, design, right? This is not going to be compelling for someone to click into. It's not gonna be competitive, and if you really look at the value here, right, the value is not the cover page, it's really the content pages. It's only showing on probably 10% of your thumbnail. So the value that people would be seeing the sneak peek of is probably about 10%, maybe 15% on this one of the thumbnail. I would not be showing your cover pages because that is probably one of the easiest areas to show inexperience in design and or in graphic design. So your cover page, right, if it's not adding value, it is taking value away. I would be removing that completely. And if you have 83 pages, 60 pages, 58 pages, why are we only showing 2? Um, okay. Um, we also need different fonts, different styles of mockups. We don't want to be using full sentences. Use digitally in GoodNotes or use physically with a printer. Like this is a mouthful. This is more of like an infographic image to use within your listing, but not a thumbnail. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. We also need a different pricing strategy since we only have one sale. Okay, this one, 30,000 sales, looks like intimate jewelry, non-peer. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not going to read that out loud. I did not look at this. Oh my goodness. We're going to skip this. And if you'd like an audit, just reach out privately. Okay. Billy. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, feel free to put your shop link in here. I don't see any shop links put in recently. All right, this one looks like personalized gifts for life special celebrations. All right. Okay. So the biggest area to work on with you is design. And I think the main feature of these products is personalization. However, we are losing that value proposition because we're not even seeing the focus being on personalization. So if the focus of what you're selling, right? If the main selling point is personalization, we need this to be just so obvious, okay, that you are doing personalization. For example, this one, senior, right? Ethan, it's the hardest thing to read on this. So if the personalization is difficult to read, you might as well not have it because it's not going to be obvious enough for someone to know. Even here, right, married in Fort Worth, people are seeing the skyline and they're seeing Fort Worth, but they're not really seeing the personalization. Okay, it's very, very difficult to focus on. There's also some concerns I have just around spacing. You know, when you're doing designs like this where there's a lot of white space and then it gets really congested with a font that is difficult to read because of how fine certain appendages are on this font, I think you are missing an opportunity with design, right? You know, for example, consider with a tall vertical design like a deer, maybe you do something on the left and something on the right versus trying to cram it all in top to bottom. Okay. And then in general, I would say, you know, design elements that work now and fonts that work now. This one that says there's no place like home, I'd recommend different font choice for that. And I see you kind of doing these sprigs to create kind of a circle. This is very farmhouse, kind of Chip and Joanna fixer upper inspired, but even like the little house with the heart in it, I think this would do better in a more modern look. Okay. Okay. Also, I'd recommend a different pricing strategy. And if this, we have shops that do personalization, actually selling very similar product types, but the execution is different. And some of them do up to $80,000 a month. Okay. Uh, so the idea of personalized, giftable print on demand products, great idea. We just need to change the execution and bring it up to 2025 and really showcase the value proposition, which is your personalization with the price point. Okay. Yeah, and different mockups will really, really, really help as well. Okay. Alicia, custom creation. All right. So I'm thinking you're selling this, and we get in, and I would say your backgrounds on these mockups are completely overtaking the product. Okay. So with something like this, custom memorial candle picture, I can't really tell what this is. The spacing on this is also quite off. It's very congested down here and then much more open up here. And then it's a little confusing what this is because of the flower and the stone behind it, right? And with things like this as well, you could do definitely a different mock-up, right? The pink is so loud that it's really taking away focus from the detail of the design. And here the product is taking up less than half of your image. We have a lot of almost like a clashing slate, or not like a slate gray. It's almost like a bluish gray that's kind of clashing with the royal blue. Okay, so I think the process you have for your photos right now of removing the background, doing background remover, and then just sliding in a static background, maybe in Canva, I wouldn't keep doing that. I think it's hurting the perceived value of the product. Okay, so photography is going to be a big, big focus. Okay, yeah. So you look very creative and like you're open to personalization. It's just the execution. We need to create more trust and predictability so people know what they're gonna be getting. And, like, someone buying a bottle, a glass bottle, is this an heirloom item or is this a functional item? If it's glass, even what is the size and scale? You know, we're missing so many different elements that would help. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of concern here. Also with a bottle, like, people wanna see reviews right in the listing. They wanna know if that thing leaks or not, pretty quickly. Alright, this we wanna update your banner. There's a lot going on. Your products are so detailed in their design that we need to not make them so little, because then you're losing really the feature of the product, which is the detail of the design. I mean, 325 listings and only 279 sales. It's a little bit out of balance. I would probably say you could take this down to, like, 200 listings and really trim the fat of things that maybe aren't as strong in the design aspect. These types of things, I don't think they will do very well, these types of designs and color schemes, so just a little concerned about uh some of your design choices. Yeah. So and I'm seeing, like, maybe some attempts to go after some trends, like the cherry trend, but we're doing it in a non-trendy way, and same thing with this one, like the quilt patchwork style kind of trend, but we're doing it in a way that is less trendy because of the graphics on the different patches of the quilt. Same thing with, like, retro floral, right? This color combination and these flower styles with these leaves make it less trendy. So if you're gonna do a trend, we wanna do it in a trendy way. We also wanna make sure we have the appropriate pricing strategy for the stage of the business you're in and the stage of a listing's life cycle. Yeah, so some of this stuff I would recommend removing maybe about 100 listings, and the reason is we don't want your shop to have a negative shop quality score because of a low conversion rate. So we need to protect your conversion rate. Here's 3D Proto Fab Canada. Someone submitted a shop here. 3D Proto Fab Canada. And it's fine for any of you. I'll put the link in, by the way, if you are like, yes, I know I need help. I want to get one of those 12 spots from last night. If you're coming from our presentation last night, go ahead and you can grab a spot here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 spots left today, but you can grab one of those, and we'll chat with you more about your shop and what our process for improving it would look like. And then you'd have the opportunity with joining us to get up to 12 free months of one-on-one calls. Okay, let's go back to this one. Okay. No idea what you sell based on your banner. Looks like you are doing 3D printing, which is amazing. We have so many successful 3D printing sellers. Actually, if you go into our platform, we have a post that went up just 2 days ago, and it says, "Do you have a 3D printer?" We have 80 comments on this. Jason, he replaced his income. He has 9 of them. and he replaced his income. I think he did 15,000 in pounds. I think it was last month. I know he did 20,000 the month before, and it's like what, like 25 grand USD. So, yeah, a lot of opportunity there. Yeah, Keisha, very successful. Nee, very successful. Cynthia as well. Jeff has 3. So, yeah, anyways, um, wanted to point that out. Okay. So what you're offering now, these are very like functional products, but we are showing them in a, I would say, with a low value proposition. So photography is huge. And currently, even the color schemes that you're using, I think you could attract a totally different type of customer that's much more profitable if you were willing to make some updates to color. I mean, it could completely change the type of customer that you appeal to. I don't think you're getting in front of the core Etsy customer that I would say is probably like 55, 60% of their customer base. There's this one type of customer that really is just, I would say, the number one customer avatar for Etsy, and I don't think you are appealing to that customer because of presentation, branding, color schemes. Um, it also looks like you have a laser, which I would say is the number one most profitable tool for Etsy. Um, yeah, so a lot of updates to be made. We would help you with product ideas, really also SEO, different pricing strategy, do some competitor analysis. And then with the laser, I saw you said you have a laser. Yeah, we can give you laser product ideas as well. Okay. But really the look of the shop would like completely change. It would not look like the same shop even if you only kept the same products. Okay. Yeah, but there's such an opportunity for personalization here. Also optimization for mobile, site merchandising, Pinterest optimization. It is, I mean, your conversion rate, I can't even imagine how low it is right now with the types of options you are offering. So, what we would want to do is focus on really increasing the conversion rate and getting in front of the right customers. Okay. Yeah. A lot to be done here. I don't know how much you're trying to make, but yeah, you could be doing way more than what you're doing currently. Okay. I think we did review this last night. This one, football. Okay. A little bit concerned about some trademark situations here. Also, completely, I would say, inappropriate mock-ups for the product. Never wanna do this white background, but this is not the right mock-up for this product and for this customer. Yeah, so I think you're losing your customer actually at first sight because of how you're positioning the product. Yeah, and when the props are bigger than the product, we have a problem. Okay, and I would always avoid removing background and putting in a themed background. I would not recommend doing that, especially for apparel where size and fit really, really matter. Okay, a few more, 5 more. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Oh, I think she is Linda. I believe you are meeting with us today, and I did an analysis of your shop this morning for Ashley, who are you meeting with. So yes, so much opportunity here. Uh, okay, so what we want to work with you on is bringing this up to 2025. What you have in here, even down to the color schemes and your photos, it might have done well for you back in like 2017 to 2020, but um, I saw things had decreased quite a bit, and I can see why. We also want to make sure that you are positioning this for an Etsy customer and not competing with yourself. Um, a couple other notes that I had, I'm going to pull them up. Let me grab this because I made a whole actually analysis of your shop this morning with Ashley. Here we go. Okay, so you're not getting found by profitable customers. SEO is super product focused versus customer focused. Value proposition is weak, which is your combination of your listing photo and your price point. They kind of look a little bit like AliExpress photos or factory photos, which would cause you to lose trust. Um, okay, not optimized for Pinterest or we looked at that by looking into the listings, and we have sellers doing $700,000 a year in this market, in the giftable market. So there's a lot of opportunity. A couple of our inner circle members are also in this market. Um, New color combinations would make this more attractive. Also, integrating some of the 2025 trends in the gifting and home market that you are currently completely missing. Um, and then the 7 types of framework would be really helpful, especially loss leaders, because it looks like your order velocity, the rate at which this number is going up, decreased quite a bit. So we want to make sure to get that back up. Okay, a few more, almost done. Okay, jewelry stock photos, website scheduling. Okay, we need to elevate how you are creating these mockups. I would not be doing the same black with the white writing and then the Canva editable banner. I would be changing this up quite a bit, and it's very uh, high contrast. And I would offer some options that are not so high contrast, especially for this year, 2025. Okay. Okay. A couple more. Oh, another 3D printing shop. Awesome. I'm telling you, we have so many right now. Um, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here. I do like that your banner shows your products. However, we need to be picturing these products in completely different ways. So you were going like the miniature route, which is such a trend, but colors need to be adjusted. I'm curious if you're open to adjusting some of the color scheme options here. And then you could get, I would say, many more functional items. You have a lot of like the small scale cute items, but functional is really the direction I would take the shop. Just because if you help someone save time, make money, or solve a pain point, you can just make a lot more money and serve a lot more people. And suddenly you are not a frivolous item, but you're more of a necessity. So, yeah, that's what I would look at for your shop. Okay. I think we did this one last night. And I think we did this one last night. Okay, I'll do a couple more from the chat before we wrap up. Okay. Oof, we need to really, really update all of this. I would scrap it all. Honestly, it'd be better not having a banner and not having a logo at this point. Okay. Design is the number one thing we need to focus on here, design and mockups. I would absolutely be getting into something like Kittle or Creative Fabrica uh, or Creative Markets to help with designs. And I honestly think I would almost start over from scratch, targeting profitable customers, and then go slowly one by one with your listings to ensure that they are going to resonate with your customers. Okay. So, yes, I would start over. Um, and I would make sure to avoid anything that's holiday related because the goal right now, we need to build some momentum. We need momentum to build. We need the start of the snowball to start building. And we don't want holiday items in here because they are just going to tank your conversion rate after that holiday ends. It's kind of like dead weight in the shop. Okay. So it looks like the designs have evolved a little bit, but I would really think of this like a blank slate, especially since you have 100 listings and 5 sales. Um, I'd look at what sold if anything was an organic sale and listen to that. But as far as, some of the other things, especially where we can't read what's on the product, I'd be removing that. I would be removing that. Okay. So design workshops, we have like 34 hours of design workshops for you in our platform that would be helpful. Okay. So I think we have to wrap up, but what I'm going to do is drop the link to get this bonus that was given out last night at our it was at our shop audits webinar that we've done that we did last night for people who are really looking to start seeing some change. So as we did some of your shops last night, the replay of that will be sent out. Then we did the rest of the shops today. So we got through all of them, I believe. And then, uh, yeah, definitely if you feel like you're stuck, you're sick of not seeing results, feel free to book a call with us and we will take you through step by step what we'd be recommending for your shop and really the next steps in getting this to move, right? All right. Awesome, guys. I hope this was helpful. And I will see some of you on my coaching call very soon.